Good morning everyone. Today we are going to study about that why there was a demand for the Indian indigo in England and even in the many parts of the world. With this we are going to study about the results of the commercialization of the agriculture, and there was a peasant revolt started by the peasants around the country. So today we'll study about all these. So let's start our class. Children, before starting with the topic, let's study about Indian indigo. It's a flowering plant which grows in the tropics. By the 13th century, it was used for dyeing clothes in Italy, France, and Britain. Supply of indigo was very small and hence its price was very high. It produces a rich blue color. It's a plant, and in the plant the flowers are of blue color which were turned into dye color of blue. Okay, now moving to the topic, why the demand for Indian indigo. There was a great demand for Indian indigo in the world market. Indian indigo produced a net blue color as compared to the dye from wood, which was light, pale and dull. Now this plant produced a very fine blue color, dark blue color, if we compare it with the color from the wood, which was dull and pale. Okay. Now the other reasons are demand for indigo was growing, but due to variety of reasons, the supply of indigo from West Indies and America dwindled between 1783 to 1789. See, as the demand was increasing for the indigo, but the supply of indigo was decreasing from West Indies to America between 1783 to 1789. Okay, there are many reasons behind it. Now, the indigo plantation in India was so profitable that many British officials of the company left their jobs and took part in indigo plantation. As we know that Indian indigo was demanded in many countries all over the world. Okay, so it was very much profitable. So many British officials who were already working in the British companies, they left their jobs and started the indigo plantation. Now the result of this was that the East India Company gave the loans in the advance to the British farmers so that they can come to India and set up their own indigo plantation units. Now by this also the Britishers were having advantage. That was that that they're going to purchase from the British planter directly and at a reasonable price. Okay, now here you can see a image of a dark blue color. This was the color and the powder which was made by that indigo flower, and it is used for dyeing. Okay, is it clear? Okay, now moving ahead. Yesterday we had studied that the Britishers had done the commercialization of crops and agriculture. Now today we are going to study the results of it. Disruption of rural economy. Now as the British government has done the commercialization of agriculture, the the rural economy totally disrupted. Disrupted means it damaged, it decreased. Okay. Now, before this commercialization, the farmers were well sufficient. They were growing the crops which were required by the local people, and the revenue was nominal and was fixed. But after the commercialization, they were forced to grow the crops which were more profitable for the Britishers. Next is importance of money lenders. Money lenders were the people who used to give the loans to the farmers. Now, to save their lands from getting auctioned, farmers used to take the loans from the money lenders, and those money lenders also took the advantage of the farmers by taking extra money from them. Now, the next one is rise of absentee landlords. Absentee landlords ruined the old zamindars. Whosoever had money bought the land in auction. And either they were living in that particular village or not, they bought the land. And their absence proved very harmful for both the villagers and the agriculture, as they were not bothered about the conditions or the situations faced by the villagers, or the crop is grown properly or not, or they are in profit or loss. They were not having any knowledge about it. They just want to collect the rents. Then the fragmentation of land holdings. Fragmentation means किसी चीज के पीस करना, किसी चीज को टुकड़ों में बांटना. So the land became an individual property of the zamindars. It got divided into small fragments or pieces, generation after generations. See, as a parental property. Okay. Now, for example, a zamindar is having 4 sons. So he will going to divide that particular land among his 4 sons. Now those 4 sons are also having their children. So now they will going to divide their particular portion among them. So in this way, that one piece of land will be divided into small fragments or pieces generation after generation. अब वो जितने pieces होते जाएंगे, it will be difficult to do the farming on a very small piece of land. Now, all these things, the commercialization of agriculture had some advantages also. The advantages were that the Indian farmers got to know about different types of crops and cash crops, and they started cultivating them. Then, after the trade of these cash crops or the plantation crops, Britishers forced the Indian farmers to move out of their villages and sell their produce in the nearby cities. By that, by that, what happened? The thinking ability of the farmers started broadening. वो ज़्यादा अच्छा सोचने लगे, अपने प्रॉफिट के बारे में सोचने लगे. जब वो अपने घर, अपने विलेज से बाहर निकले, they learned about the new techniques of farming, better quality of seeds. They started meeting different people. So all these things happened. But the advantages were neutralized by the selfish interest of the Britishers. Neutralized means उस चीज को वहीं खत्म कर दिया, because they were so selfish that they didn't took interest in the development of the Indian farmers. Now the next topic is peasant revolt. After the establishment of the company's rule over Bengal, Bihar and Orissa, as a result of the Treaty of Allahabad signed after the Battle of Buxar. This we had studied in second chapter, that the Diwani of Bengal was signed. That is Treaty of Allahabad, under which the Bengal, Bihar and Orissa was given to the company. Okay, directly came under the company's rule. Now, as they were there, here they introduced the land revenue system on the farmers, the agrarian policies. Then they did commercialize the crops, commercialized agriculture. They increased the land revenue, and they had no mercy on the poor farmers. So the result of all these things led to the revolts of the peasants in different parts of the country. Because of this, the farmers, the poor farmers of India started revolting against the company, okay, in different parts of the country. Now, about these revolts, we are going to study in detail in the next class. Okay. Now it's time. Now we'll move towards your homework. Children, in today's homework, you have to do question number 5 of exercise E. Why there was a demand for Indian indigo? Answer is because number 1, Indian indigo produced a net blue color. Number 2, indigo plantation in India was so profitable that many British officials of the company left their jobs and took part in indigo plantation. Number 3, the East India Company advanced loans to British planters to come to India and set up their indigo plantation units. Please do your work in a very neat writing, and I hope you are doing the homework daily, and that to be in a neat writing. Again, I am reminding it. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and take care of yourself.